I'm Brett Hamblin. I'm here to take you step by step through the mortgage process and how that works. So the first thing we're going to start off with is a little bit at the very beginning. So let's say you're trying to buy a home in either Northern Kentucky or Cincinnati, and you're looking to get this figured out on like how to start the process. So the first step in the process is to get pre-approved for a mortgage. That's the first step. So you fill out a loan application. You're going to provide your pay stubs, your W-2s, your bank statements, other items that justify showing you how much you make, how much you have in the bank, what you have available, and that you earn this income. Once that's proven, then you're pre-approved. Once you're pre-approved, then you can go out shopping with a real estate agent in the area, and you're going to want to find yourself a local realtor that is works full time. You want somebody that's working full time. If you're looking to buy a house and you're going to spend the most money that you've ever spent in your life, do you want to spend that with someone that's only working that job part time to get whatever they're doing? So that's one of the things. Make sure that you have a full time agent. That's one thing that I will preach right here at the beginning. Make sure you have a full time real estate agent. Second thing, once you're pre-approved, then there could be some dead time between the pre-approval and you actually finding the house. So depending on how long it takes you to find the house is going to depend on how long it takes for you to actually like get to the closing table. So let's pretend that that time frame was very short, because some people can find a house already like in a week or two from when they get pre-approved. And some people get pre-approved like 3 days before they actually put an offer on the house that they want, because they've already had their eye on one. So that's one of the things that can happen. Now let's pretend that all that time's passed that you needed to, and you found the right house. Now that you've found the right house, here's the next step. So the next step is negotiating the contract. Negotiating the contract to ensure that all the terms that are in there for you to buy the home properly with your realtor is very important. So you want to have like the details that you need written out, so you know if you're going to ask for closing costs to be paid by the seller, when the closing date, what day you want to close, when is the inspection period over, who's going to do an inspection, are you doing all sorts of inspections, or are you just doing a basic home inspection? So those things are getting negotiated into the contract. Once the contract is signed and everyone agrees to the term, then it actually comes back to the loan process. So we get your accepted contract, then we're going to go over your loan options and what best fits you. Now, at the pre-approval stage, you probably already chose what loan program you're going to be going with, because that needs to be written on the pre-approval letter when you're out there shopping for your home. So you probably narrowed that down and already taken care of that. And once you have the accepted contract, it comes to us. We're going to go ahead at that time, go over the details of the loan, how much your monthly payment is. We're going to go over what the terms of the loan are. We're going to make sure that your application is completed and fully like filled out. So all the I's are dotted, all the T's are crossed. Make sure that we have all your employment history in there accurately. We're going to make sure that we have all of your asset information in there accurately. And then once we have that all together, we're going to send out the initial loan disclosures to get those signed. So that's officially making the application. So anytime someone says, well, you have to make application within 3 days of the contract being signed, that means that you actually have to have the disclosure sent to you and sign them within 3 days of the contract being written. And then that also gives you time to go ahead and like order your home inspection. We'll get ordering the appraisal. We'll also order the title work. And the title work's there to verify the person that can sell the house can sell the house. The appraiser's going out there to verify that the house is worth what you're buying it for. And the home inspector is going out there to make sure that the problems that are with the house, that keyword, problems with the house, are not major defects that are going to cost you tens of thousands of dollars. You're paying somebody $400 to $600 to come look at your house that you're going to buy. They're going to spend 3 or 4 hours, however long they spend out there. They're going to find problems. It's whether or not those problems are tens of thousands of dollars or just a couple $100 or $200 trips to Home Depot or Lowe's or wherever you go to get your your home stuff to get some items fixed. So that's something that you need to be aware of, that the home inspection is going to find problems. Once all that's done, you made it through the inspections, and your real estate agent is going to help you negotiate after the home inspection is back if there's repairs that need to be done, or if there's concessions that are going to be made, or if there's nothing that's going to be done, then that's all handled right then. Once you pass the inspection phase, we're sending the file to underwriting. Underwriting is where they actually review all the documents that are processed or put in the file. So processing is like those order outs where we order that stuff and we order the title work and the appraisal. The underwriter is the one that actually validates that your income is your income, your assets are your assets, all the I's are dotted, all their T's are crossed. They know your employment history, they know your living history, they have all those things in there. Now, with that, they're going to have like loan documents they need from you in addition to what you already provided. Most of the time, all the documents lead to asking for more documents. So by the time you're done with it, you'll be like, why do you need to know what I scored on my history test in third grade? It's because the underwriter's just curious and we got to turn it in. That's what we need. Just kidding. It doesn't come down to that, but sometimes it feels like it gets very intrusive, but they're lending you the largest amount of money that you've ever borrowed in your life. They're going to dot all the I's and cross all the T's and make sure that everything is done properly in order for it to get approved. Once it's gone through underwriting, and there may be a couple rounds of that where you turn in stuff and then you turn in some more stuff, and then they say, okay, well, we got everything that we need and you're officially cleared to close. Those are the 3 magic words you're looking for in this whole transaction. We are cleared to close. Maybe that's 4 with we are cleared to close, 5. Cleared to close. That's it. 3 words. Clear to close. You will like those words. Once you get everything done there, then it's just scheduling. So you schedule your closing for a couple of days later or the following day. And you're also going to do a final walkthrough on the property to make sure that if there was something that was supposed to be fixed, that was fixed. And if there was something that needed to be done was done, or make sure that they, didn't, destroy the house while they're moving out the vanity from the master bedroom that came down 3 flights of stairs, to make sure that it actually came down through and didn't go through a wall. That's what your final walkthrough is through. Just make sure that everything's still on the up and up. So with that, that's the last step before going to closing. Closing day is a summary of everything that's already leading up to it. So you're signing the documents to put it in stone. There's really 4 main things that you sign when you're talking about buying a home. There is the closing disclosure, which summarizes all the terms of the loan and all the cost. There is the note, which is you promising to pay back the loan at the terms of the loan. So when you sign that, you're signing it saying, hey, I agree to pay back this loan for this amount at this interest rate, with the first payment being, a month and a half away and the last payment being 30 years from there, whatever the loan terms were. And then the other big document that you sign is the mortgage. The mortgage is a 17-page long document that's written by the legal department that actually says that you're pledging the property for the collateral for the loan. So that's what is the actual collateral for the loan. And then it's also telling you they can't drill for oil, dig for gold, start a junkyard on the property. You can't store hazardous waste there. It's really a all-encompassing document to make sure that you're agreeing to maintain the property and keep it in working order and not let the grass get 6 feet tall. There's all these clauses that are in there because there's other people in the world that ruined it for everyone else. It's kind of like, hey, these rules were made because someone did this or did that. So yeah, there were all this stuff had to be written in by the legal department to make it to where someone couldn't say, well, you didn't say that I couldn't destroy the house and light off fireworks in there, aka 2008. Those things are now all in there to make sure that there's no way for someone to wiggle, squirm, or worm their way out of, or hire an attorney to where they don't pay that mortgage money and just say, hey, I never should have had to pay this. So that's why the mortgages are written that in depth. but they're all the same between every mortgage company, and you're not going to get them to modify it, so you just have to sign it anyways. But then the last document that's really important that you signed is the deed. The deed is what transfers ownership from the current owner to you. And that's what gets recorded at the courthouse to say, hey, you're the new owner. And the mortgage gets recorded there too to say that you pledged this property as the collateral for a loan. So those are the two last things that come out there. And then after the closing, most of the time, if you're buying a house here in our geographical area, like Northern Kentucky, Cincinnati area, if you're buying a home there, typically you get the cash, they're the keys at closing. Indiana is a little bit different. They have a little protocol for southeastern Indiana and some of these places, and they're changing a little bit, but it used to be customary for you to leave the seller in the home for another 30 days after closing, which gave them enough time to identify a property and move to another property and do all their stuff in that time frame to where they didn't feel pressured to like find a house and close the same day and move the same day. A lot of people in Kentucky and Ohio end up doing that because if they're buying and selling, they're selling in the morning and buying in the afternoon, or buying right behind it, and then they're moving right then and there. So that summarizes the whole like process step by step on how a mortgage works and how the process of buying a home works.